Guys, welcome. How's everybody doing? Hopefully good. Thank you all for stopping by to watch my review about Child's Play, the remake. And we're gonna be comparing it to the original. What are my thoughts about both of them? But let's talk about first Child's Play, the remake. Yes. Welcome back, Nikki. One second. Alright, guys, I'm gonna be playing the movie so I can get a remembrance about Child's Play. About the movie. Yeah, let's play the movie, shall we? I don't have the original. Well, sorry guys, I was gonna show you. So yes, I bought the movie. I was very interested in seeing how this one did in the movie theaters. I heard mixed reviews that it was very good. Other people's are like they prefer the original. And excuse me. Oh my god, I still have this plastic thing. The heck? One second. Get out! Get out! We don't need you here. You're destroying my beautiful cover. So yes, I heard of mixtures that it was good and then it was bad. So here are my thoughts about the remake. Is it a good movie? Is it a bad movie? I think it's okay. I think it was pretty interesting. I think it was not the best, but it was definitely entertaining for me to keep to be like, oh my god, oh, I had those reactions. I mean, there were jump scares, but not to the point where it wasn't not like the original where it was just like creepy and disturbing. But we'll get to that. Let's talk about the original. Oh, did you watch it, Nikki? What part did you stay in? Actually, what part did you stay in? I saw it all. Kind of gruesome. It is gruesome. I did like that about that movie though. Those are the positive stuff about it. All right, so let's talk about the intro. So it starts off like where it's like a commercial showing the good guy doll's buddy and how this doll, you can like use your cell phone to turn it on or charge it up and everything. And let's only talk about first off before we get to I'm sorry. Well, let's finish this. Yeah, that this doll could like turn on your the TV for you, control those other the same compatible machines that are from the same company, and it could also watch your baby child. It's like a baby monitor for you. So I thought like, oh wow, that's pretty badass doll. If you ask me, that if it could do all that stuff, that's pretty cool, and that it could walk with you, and it's like if it's a real thing. But I thought that was very interesting because it's like, okay, since we are in this generation where technology has advanced so much, it's like, why not? What if you can create a doll that can do all that stuff? And I will talk about the missed opportunities that they could have done with that. But okay, let me talk about one of the negative things that bugged me about the movie. One second, guys. Uh, where he killed. Oh, I did like that part. And brought the. That was funny though. I thought that was messed up. He's like, oh, he won't hurt you anymore, Andy. That was pretty cool. All right, so here's my negative review. I didn't like how the model looks. I didn't like the way the doll looked. He looked. I thought the doll from the original Child's Play, Chucky, looked more better compared to this one. Even though there were moments where he looked pretty creepy, like I like he did creep me out. I just didn't like when he would talk, like it just didn't work well. I think they did an outstanding job. It's like we're in this generation, right? We have so much badass technology. I think they could have done a better job with him moving when he would talk, not compared to the original where I think it was ahead of its time where his mouth would move and everything very well, and the way it just looked way better compared to the remake. I think they could have done a better job with the way the doll looked in this remake. Um, that was just my opinion, my negative review about it, because there were moments where I was just like, it kind of bugs me when he would talk. and the way he would look, it just didn't look right. I don't know. I'm thinking like if they plan on making a sequel, would they make the doll better? You know, with the I feel like if they're gonna make him look better, which I hope they do, I hope they should do a part where the company decides like, why don't we make the model look better? You know, which I hope they do because come on, the original kicks this one's ass to me. I'm sorry. So yeah. Anyways, that was my only negative review about it. So let's get back to the positive stuff. I did like. Can I fast forward this? Let's see. I did like how this is the cool part, which I thought was very interesting. So let's talk about it. I liked how it wasn't like the original story. I thought they were gonna do the same storyline with the original, just like no, I pretty much know what's gonna happen. But no, it was still a lot different compared to the original, which I like it when they do something different with it. What they did good about this story and about Chucky, the only difference is that it's not a serial killer, it's not a psycho killer guy who transfers his soul into this doll like in the original. This time it's just a doll who gets his chips encrypted and whatever because and it's kind of dumb. I thought that was kind of dumb. This man who gets bullied by his boss or something, the man that's working in the at the company, who everybody's working on the dolls. One of the employees that's like there, I think he was like daydreaming. I think um, his boss comes. He's like, "Hey, wake your ass up! You know, get back to work." And I don't know, just yelling at him and making him feel like shit. And then he leaves. The guy gets so mad that he's all like, "You know what? Fuck this! Turn off the safety hazards for this doll. He's gonna, you know, kill things. He's gonna, you know, no, he's gonna. He took off all the rules off from that doll, and then he ships it out. So I thought, oh, that's kind of dumb. Like just because this guy got pissed off, and then there's like, oh, that's the reason why this doll's a killer. I thought that was kind of dumb. But later on, when Andy gets the doll, and you know, and then it's Buddy, and you learn what Buddy's supposed to be. Buddy's supposed to be a friend for the kids, as like the guy who is in charge of the company says, like you know, every child needs a friend, and that's what Buddy's for. When he opens up Buddy, and then they did say like that he was kind of damaged, but the mom was like, "I'll take it from my son, and then I'll give it to him." I mean, who could? I don't know. I thought that was kind of bad on the mom's part, like giving your son a broken doll. And then she's all like, I didn't think it was gonna be that broken, and I'm just like, come on, like, I don't know. If it was my son, I would have given him a brand new doll. I wouldn't have given a broken because that sucks for him. He's gonna have a broken doll that's not gonna function properly. You know, I thought that kind of sucks. But anyways, besides that, when he opens the doll and then he sees how he's kind of like not, he's kind of broken, but then he's all like, no, I like it. I'm gonna keep him. You know, he starts like showing him around the room and everything. He's like, oh, that's the kitty, dickwad. He's a little dickwad. And then Chucky's all like, dickwad. And he's like, oh my god, you could say that? I thought that was kind of cute. So I did like that. When Andy and Chucky would bond, I thought that was cute. I was all like, this is something different. I like this because you get to see how a child is with a doll, you know, because I remember, you know, when we were all young, we had these dolls that we would play with and we would consider it as our friend, you know, because sometimes we didn't have that many friends to play with, but our dolls were always there to like, you know, keep us from being lonely and, you know, to play with, you know. Some of us when we were back when we were young. And I thought that was cute, you know, because you would see him play chess or whatever games with Chucky, and Chucky would play with him too. And even though there were like creepy moments where Andy was falling asleep, but then Chucky's all like, Andy, you wanna play? And he's all like, no, it's time for night night. You know, don't look at me like that because it kind of creeps me out. And Chucky's just there, and it just sucks because it kind of shows that Chucky, Buddy, is like there to protect Andy. He's there to like you know make sure he's safe, be his best friend. You know, he just wants to make sure Andy's happy. And I thought like, oh, you know, that's kind of sweet. You know. Let's see. Good day. Hello, Jolly Wiggles. I'm so sorry. Hello, I totally missed that message. I'm like all talking about this show. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're here talking about Child's Play, the remake, and how we're comparing it to the original. And so I love this storyline better than the original. Okay, the mom and the kids' friends, though. Oh, I hate the mom and the. Yeah, I didn't like the kids. I felt there was no need for them, but at the same time, I did like the girlfriend. I did like the girl who was Andy's friend. I did like him. I didn't like the big stupid guy. I thought he was dumb. There was a part when Chucky was gonna stab him. I was like, please do it. Get him off. I wouldn't miss him. I really don't care for him. I don't like it when they put funny characters in horror movies because I think that takes away the horror feeling, the horror vibe of the film. Because every time they have a comedian for there, I felt like no, it kills it. I mean, it's okay if they have a funny character that's not always going to be funny. I understand that we do need something funny to relieve ourselves from the horror moments, but not so much because I felt like they kill the horror moments. So whatever. That's just my opinion. But anyways, no sir, the storyline isn't better. Which one? Which storyline? For the remake or the original? Jolly. Why, Nikki? Why did he? Why did he? I'm gonna hold on, Nikki. Wait, we'll talk about that, Nikki. I will. Yeah, I want to know why you didn't like that character. All right, to teach their own. To each their own. Personally, I love it more. Andy's. It's any. Oh, it's ma'am. Oh, okay, okay, and yeah, okay, and it's ma'am. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I thought it was so sweet seeing this part of this different side of the character for Chucky. That it's a doll that's supposed to do what he was meant to do when he was built, to take care of the child and be his best friend and protect him, make him happy. But since Chucky was so cryptid that he was conflict with his damaged chip or whatever the guy did to him, um, he started seeing, he started saying bad words. And then that one part where the kids were watching a horror film, I think it was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the looks of it. Chucky was there with them, bonding with them, watching the TV. And when he saw what Leatherface was doing to the victim, he kind of saw it, and then he was like, kind of liked it, but then he saw the kids laughing at it, and then from his experience, from his point of view, he thought like, well, they're watching that and they think it's funny, somebody stabbing someone. They think it's funny. Then he goes to the kitchen, grabs a knife, and he was gonna stab Andy's new friend, and he's all like, "Heads up, bitch," and everything. And they're like, "Andy, look what your doll's doing," and everything. Like, "No, Chucky, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that." And he's all like, "What? I thought it was funny." And then I think he gets put in timeout. I think Andy puts him in the room. Oh my god! Oh my god! Hold on. Andy puts him in his room, and then Chucky's just there like, "I'm sorry, Andy," and he's like, "I'm gonna go hang out with my friends," and he just locks him in there. I kind of felt sorry for Chucky. I kind of felt sad for him in this one, and I kind of like that because I was like, "This is something new. I like this. I like this a lot." And especially when Andy was gonna touch his cat because he dropped something, and his cat scratched him, and then he got scared. He's all like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, the cat just attacked me, stupid cat." And then, "Excuse me, I'm gonna go like get a band-aid and shit." And then what does Chucky do? He like tries to choke the cat to death, and then Andy's like, "No, what are you supposed to do? You don't do that. You don't kill people and everything." He's like, "I just want you to be happy," and I'm just like, poor Chucky is just so conflict. He just wants what's best for Andy, but he's doing it the wrong way. And I think it's something I picked up. Sometimes bad things are taught. You know, and Chucky is kind of like a child. He's experiencing all these things, like when he was hanging out with Andy's friends, and then the kids, the little punks, were like teaching Chucky how to stab a pony or something, a little unicorn plush doll, and they're like, "Oh, we want to stream it, we want to put it live." They were teaching it to say bad things. It's like, yeah, like basically sometimes bad things are taught to innocent things. Even though he was corrupted, I think what made him to what he was later on, like a killer, was the influence he was watching. horror movies, kids laughing at killers stabbing victims, kids teaching Chucky how to like stab, or all that other stuff. I thought that was very interesting, and it made me feel sorry for Chucky in this one because all he just wanted was love. He wanted a friend, and he just wanted what's best for Andy. So I think it was just going all about it the wrong way. So back to you guys. He was a jerk to Andy. Who, Chucky? It's more of Chucky being a stalker that just wants to be close to his owner and not a serial killer. Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, I totally love this new Chucky. He just wanted to make Andy happy. Love him for that. Yeah. Not compared to the original. Yeah, it was just a serial killer who killed people, running away from the cops, ends up in a toy store. The cop was already catching up to him. He was already shot. He was dying, and he knew he had to transfer his soul to another body, but the only body he could find was a doll. So from there, he did his voodoo crap or witchcraft thing, transferred his soul into the doll, and then that doll, was Charles Lee Ray. So that doll was already a killer from the beginning, and a messed up killer, a very disturbing killer, and um, yeah. So I thought that was very interesting, very different, but acceptable, at least for me. I thought it was acceptable for me because I was like, I'm in this. Let's see where it goes with this. So yeah, that's not Chucky. Well, not the Chucky that we grew up to be familiar with. Now this is a new Chucky. I call him Buddy because like I guess this is the new Chucky now. It's a machine that was taught wrong things and it was encrypted. Oh yeah, and can we talk about when Andy came home and he found the kitty dead? I was like, oh, that poor kitty. They're just showing it right now. Yeah, that poor cat. I felt kind of bad, but I also felt another part where I felt bad was when Chucky, um, after Chucky killed the stepdad, which I thought was kind of cool because you ended up seeing that the stepdad was a cheater. Hang on, guys. He was a cheater, and he had another wife and kids at another home. I thought that was terrible. I was like, you know what? Fuck this man. He deserves to die because I can't stand cheaters, guys. I'm sorry. So I was like, and then he was being a dick to Andy. I didn't like that stepdad because I've been through that experience too, where I think. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay, I was being rude again. Anyways, yeah, because I don't like stepdads that think, that first off, you're coming into this family. And if you're gonna start off like an asshole and then think you could boss that child around, I don't think so. If that was my child and you talk to my child like that, I'm gonna be like, look, dude, like I like what the mom says. If you're gonna talk about my son about something that he did wrong, you come talk to me first, and then I'll talk to my son. You don't do that, yeah, because that was an asshole thing for him to do. And when he pushed him on the bed, Andy, and then was like, "You want to tell me something? Tell it to my face and everything." I was like, "Oh hell no!" And then when Chucky was watching that shit, I was like, "Chucky, do it." I was like rooting for Chucky, like, "Oh, you gotta protect your Andy, to protect your best friend, because right now he was being bullied by that asshole, and I didn't like that." Vitals, Vitals. I hope I'm saying it right. Hello, welcome, Vitals. I am spoiling movies. If you haven't seen Child's Play the remake, I recommend don't watch it because we're talking about all spoilers. We're talking about the highlights, all the works. I'm sorry. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, you can't watch this. I'm sorry because I don't want to spoil anything for you. This is a spoiler movie, so yeah, I'm sorry. But welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming in. I'm so sorry that you're coming into spoilers. Um, then you get to where he brings the bears. Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna get to that, Jolly Wiggles. We're gonna get to that part. I thought that was like, okay, it's going in a whole different direction in that part where he's bringing the dolls to life. All right, let's see how that goes, but we'll get to that definitely. But yeah, when he goes kills the dad, that was pretty gruesome. I liked the way he killed him because he's like, I was like, fuck that dude. So, anyways, after Andy found out what he did to the stepdad, Andy and his friends took it upon themselves to take out that thing, that Tony Stark circle thing from Chucky, to turn him off and throw him in the dumpster, I think. And then the guy who was in charge of the security cameras, who works downstairs of the apartments, finds Chucky and he's all like, "Oh, he rebuilt him and was gonna sell him again on eBay. He gave him a new thing so that way Chucky could work more properly." Um, I was all like, "Oh, okay," but then I didn't like that guy either. It's always funny that whenever they're gonna kill somebody, they always have to end up being an asshole most of the time, so that way you won't have to feel bad for them. But the one victim that Chucky killed that I felt very bad for was the detective's mom. I felt like she was super sweet that she didn't have to die, but uh, I was like, wow, Chucky became an asshole. I didn't like him anymore. I was like, no, you've gone too far, Chucky. That woman, but Chucky was jealous. He wanted Andy all to himself. And when he saw Andy from the cameras that, he was hanging out with the detective's mom, and she was like, "Ooh, Andy, you're my best friend now." Chucky didn't like that. But back to like when that guy downstairs was dissecting Chucky and putting him in a new chip. When Chucky, I bet in that part when Chucky came back to life, and he's all like, "Andy, where are you?" He was terrified. He made me see him as like a scared little boy, like not knowing what's going on. He just sees this man like opening him up and dissecting him and everything, and he doesn't understand what's going on. Plus, Andy, banished him or like just throw him away. He's not friends with him anymore, and he's just scared. He's all like, "Where's Andy?" And then he sees Andy in the cameras that he's already making friends with somebody else. I guess he got jealous, but it also broke his heart. He had that sad face where I was just like, poor Chucky. You see, that's another thing I liked about this film, that it makes you feel sorry about this Chucky character. And I thought, oh. But then you see why he becomes corrupted, jealous, what do you call it? Not, what's the word? Where he wants Andy all to himself and nobody else can have him. Because there was that one part where it's like, Andy, if I can't have you as my friend, nobody can. And then he starts playing like these videos embarrassing Andy, just trying to tear Andy's friends away from him. So I was just like, wow, Chucky, you're an asshole. Like, what the fuck? So that was pretty messed up. Yeah, exactly, Jolly Wiggles. It reminds me of the movie Artificial Intelligence, which is another good movie, guys. It did remind me of that. Because, yeah, this is a robot that's come to life. He's trying to understand where he belongs, what he's supposed to do. He's trying to protect his best friend. But then all this other stuff, he's conflict of, like, what he's supposed to do. Like, they're laughing at this. They think it's funny when a killer is stabbing somebody. They're teaching me all these bad words and shit, and I don't know. And it's like I'll confront it, and then his eyes turn red when he's all like getting upset, or he has that urge to kill somebody to protect the one he loves. I'm just like, oh my god, so interesting. And I thought that was very interesting. Spiritedly, I love spoilers. Jealous much? Poor old lady. Yes, poor old lady. By the way, Mark D is a fantastic voicing it. Oh, Mark Campbell? Dude, he did good. I will say this. I will love, what's his name? The original actor who did the voice of the original Chucky. He will always be my favorite. But Mark Campbell doing the voice acting for this new Chucky, I loved it. He sounded adorable, he sounded sweet, but at the same time, since I know we've known him as the voice of the Joker, I knew he was going to do a good job making him sound creepy as well. So he did good. He did do good making him sound creepy and very disturbing. So yeah, anyways, my keyboard sucks. That's okay, Nikki. I understood what you meant. Wait, okay, bye. I love you. Okay, I'm so sorry, Vitals. We hope to see you next time. But if you see the movie, feel free to jump back to watch this video to see if like there were some things that you would like to talk about with us. That's what we're here for. But sorry, what else? Yeah, I didn't like that Chucky killed the mom. I was like, poor lady. She was already on her way to go have bingo with her friends, and then Chucky is controlling the car, making her go through like a roller coaster ride, and then ends up making her crash. I thought she was gonna literally fly out the window, but no. That part was creepy when she was like trying to see where's he gonna come from to the window over here in the back seat, but he's all like, I see you. I hear. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking messed up. That was pretty good. I did like that part. But hold on. They're actually they're just showing that part where the stepdad dies. You see, I just don't like it when he talks. It just doesn't look right. But maybe if they plan on making a second movie, a sequel after this one, I hope they improve that. Because come on, we're in this generation. We should have better technology than what we have. So, because it makes the original makes this one look bad. So they need to improve on that. Other than that, good job with making me feel sorry for Chucky in this movie and all that other good stuff. So, anyways, what were the other highlights? Now we're gonna get to the part where, oh, this part too. In the original, Chucky makes it. Well, when all in the original, when all the murders were taking place, and the detective and the police officers were trying to figure out, was solving the mystery of like who's killing these victims, but all they can find is like shoe prints and little toys that relates to a young kid that could possibly done all this, and then all fingers points to Andy, and then Andy was there the day when Chucky got revenge on one of his friends that left him when he got shot, and he left him in the car and killed him, made the house blow up in the original, and Andy was the one there. Yeah, detectives couldn't help but to think like this boy, there's something seriously wrong with this little boy, and they were gonna take him away from his mother, and the mom was all like, you need to confess. What are you doing? Like, or is there something you need to talk about? But then Andy's all like, it's Chucky. He's the one doing this to me. He's talking to me. He says and all this other stuff. But, in reality, we would think that's messed up. Dolls don't talk to you. They don't say stuff like that. Uh, which is which happens. So Chucky then, as he notices that how all the detectives and the moms are now looking at the child, he goes along with it. He allows Andy to get in trouble, and they take him away from the mom. And then when the mom, is alone with Chucky, and she's all like kind of suspicious at him, and she's all like, "Talk to me, damn it!" I said, "Talk to me. I'm gonna throw you in the fire and everything." And then that's when he like shows himself like, "You stupid bitch." That part was amazing. That will always be my favorite. That part was a cinematic part. Anyways, but in this movie, Chucky makes Andy look like a psycho, literally, like if he's mentally ill, because the mom sees, she questions him like, "Hey, what happened to my cat? Did you do something about him?" And then when he's all like, when she sees the phone, she's like, "Why do you have your friend's phone?" And then what else? And then when the mom came back, I forgot why she left the apartment. But when Chucky was like talking to Andy in that room, like, "I see you, Andy," and Andy had the bat and he was like destroying everything to making sure he hits. He was trying to look for Chucky, and then he starts like destroying the TV because Chucky was on the TV too and everything. Then when the mom walks in, she's just like, "Oh my God, my son is ill. Like, there's something wrong with my son. There maybe he's. I don't know. I thought like, okay, that's pretty clever. I like the way that was done. So I was like, okay, why not? Um, what else? That was another good thing. What else? What else? What else? I thought that was funny that when Andy was trying to hide the head, they wrapped it up in as a gift, and the mom's all like, "Hey, Andy, where are you going with that? Is that a present? He's like, yeah, it's for the neighbor who's helped me with my homework. She's like, really? Well, let's go take it together. And they're like, shit. And they actually go to the lady, and then he's knocking on the door, and then she's like, hello, how can I help you? He's like, oh, my son wanted to give you a gift. And she's just like, like, for what? And then he's like, for helping me with my homework. And he's giving that look like, go with it. And she's like, oh yeah, he's such a good boy. I'll go ahead and take this gift. And then he's like, don't take it. I thought that was funny. That was pretty funny because I was just like, that sucks. They're trying to get rid of the head, but it's going all wrong. So yeah. Anyways, I trying to think of other good stuff, but no, the next thing I can remember was like when, at the end, Chucky brings all the toys to life. I thought that was pretty cool. Like he brings the helicopters to life. He brought the other dolls to life, the bear dolls, and they started attacking the people who were inside waiting for all the new dolls to be released. And everybody's trying to escape. And then what else? I thought that was okay. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I just didn't like how it ended. I think there should have been more of a fight at the end between Andy and Chucky. And I think it should have been more emotional. Emotional meaning because, look, there were, like I said, in the beginning of this review, there were some missed opportunities they could have gone with this. One of them, this is an artificial intelligence robot. They could have done so many things with this. Like, yeah, it's kind of like Pinocchio coming to life. He needs to understand how this works. Andy starts bonding with this robot that's was built to be his friend, to protect him and everything. And Andy didn't have no friends, but now he has a new friend. They bond, they share things together, they had laughs and everything, a lot of good memories. But then things go the wrong way, things turn around. Chucky starts killing people in order to protect Andy because he loves Andy. But Andy sees it like, no, that's all wrong. You don't understand. And that's what you're supposed to do. But Chucky doesn't understand that. He sees it as a good thing because he thinks what he's doing is good because he's protecting Andy. But he doesn't understand that. I thought that was so interesting. I think it should have been more emotional at the end when Andy finally kills Chucky because he has no other choice because Chucky was about to kill his mom. And I think when Andy kills Chucky, it should have been more emotional, meaning like, if I was Andy and I had to kill my best friend because, it sucks up like what he ended up becoming, this killer who killed my neighbor's mother, he killed my stepfather, which I don't care, but then he tries to hurt my friends and he kills other people, all because he loved me, but I know it's wrong. So I have to take it upon myself. I have to be the one to kill them because he was already going to kill my mother. But it sucks because he was my best friend. I had no other best friends. I just had him. I shared all my secrets with him. I shared all my laughs with him. I didn't feel alone anymore. He made me feel special, wanted, but I had to end up kill him. That could have been sad. They could have worked around that to make it more, to make the story more effective, where it's like, good story, like well done, but it didn't turn out that way. Now it comes to where, which one's my favorite, the original or the remake? Proud to say the original, guys. The reason why the story of the original is more better for me compared to the remake is because I liked how it deals with a very innocent child who gets a doll. That young actor, job well done. He was so young, and I've always wanted to question him, like, were you traumatized after this movie because you were so little and you have this creepy doll performing in front of you, have to act scared and everything? That was terrible. I don't know how he did it, but I think it was so interesting and a job well done for him. But anyways, I think the story on that one was very interesting to see how it's like, it's a mystery. They're trying to figure out, like, who's killing these people? Is it my son? Or is my son telling the truth? Is he not crazy at all? Is it really the doll? He's telling me that this doll used to be a man. That sounds crazy, because it's like, back then, a movie like that, back then for its time, it was something different. and it was super effective. Me watching it a long time ago when I was very little, it scared the shit out of me because when Chucky finally reveals himself to the mom and starts attacking her, and you see him like running around moving, and the mechanical work on that doll was well done, and his voice, his screams, his yells was more horrifying for me. And and then when the mom tries to go out there and the detective, they're trying to figure out like where is he going, and Chucky, you start to learn that the more time he spends on that body, it becomes like his real body. So Chucky now has to transfer his soul to a little boy. So now you're like, oh my god, they need to stop that serial killer because that motherfucker is he's gonna switch souls with that innocent little boy. Fuck that, they gotta stop him. And then when it comes to the end where Chucky's trying to like transfer his soul, but then the mom comes in and to save her son. I thought that was so badass because I like how it deals with a mom trying to protect her son. She's doing everything she can to protect her son from this crazy serial killer doll. I thought that was more effective for me. This one, I didn't like that much how the mom was. I think it was cool to see Andy in the remake save the mom, but I think it's more effective seeing the mom save her child from this killer because she does a badass job. She shoots the doll and then from the heart because the only way to kill Chucky back then was through the heart because he was already spent. The serial killer spent too much time on that doll, so where it grew a heart somehow in that body. He was already growing meat. He was already growing blood. It was becoming his real body. So yeah, and I think it was more disturbing, more terrifying, more horrific because the idea of like having a serial killer in this doll, and let's just say you bought your son a doll, and your son's playing with the doll and everything, but then you hear him talking to himself to the doll and everything, but you don't know that is that doll really saying shit to my son? Is he saying some creepy shit? I think that's more disturbing because after that film, I'm sure parents were scared about dolls and kids were scared about dolls. It was more effective. This one still does a good job. The remake with like an artificial intelligence doll having this high technology stuff, making all these things happen. I think they could have done more with that to make them more threatening, because back then that in the original, a lot of people thought, why would I be scared by a small, short doll? I could just kick him. Yeah, you're right. This one, they could have worked more with it. This doll has the power to control some of the same electronic stuff created by the same company. Like, he made the toys come to life and start attacking people, all that kind of stuff. I think he was more of a threat here. But I think back then in the original, since they didn't know that much about Chucky, they didn't know how to deal with it. So I don't know. I think the original the original story is more better for me, in my opinion. I'm not saying the remake is bad. It's pretty good because it has a different version of it. And I think they did good making it, this different version where you feel sorry for Chucky. But I prefer the original. I still like this one. Don't get me wrong. Let me see. What did they end up doing with the head? Oh, I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm so sorry I went off talking about other shit. What they ended up doing was they had to get rid of the evidence, right? Because if the mom found out that the head was in Andy's room, she would have freaked out. So his friends and Andy's friends wrapped the head around the gift wrap that was around the Chucky box. They wrapped it around. They were gonna go dispose it in the garbage chute, in the garbage compactor, whatever. But then the mom comes in and she's like, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give this. It's a gift." Oh, and then he's like, "I'm gonna give it to my neighbor," and then that's when the whole thing happened. So I thought that was funny. That part was funny. And then I think how they made Chucky look was bad. Yeah, Jolly Wiggles, I did mention in the beginning of this video, the negative review I had about it was I didn't like how they made Chucky look. I mean, we're in this generation where technology it should be out there, far and beyond. The original mechanical Chucky doll was way better. The movements, the eyes, and everything was way better compared to, and then the expression, the emotions. it's way better than the remake. I was disappointed of how they made the remake look. By the way, that guy who was running downstairs and was in charge of the security cameras, I thought that was Jack Black for a second. He kind of looked like Jack Black, but another asshole who I didn't care died. But his death, talk about getting back to the gruesome. His death was very gruesome. I was like, ouch. But he deserved to die because he was being a pervert watching Andy's mom take a shower and everything. That's disturbing. That's so disturbing. Oh, but after the neighbor, did they end up disposing? Um, since Andy gave the head to the neighbor, and the neighbor kept it because Andy's like, no, don't open it yet. Open it when my birthday comes next week. And she's like, the neighbor's like, okay, I'll go put it on the table. So we'll wait till your birthday to open it up. So Andy had to figure out a way how to get it back, right? So he sees the detective and he tells the detective, hey, can I still come in for 1 second, guys? Let me get a bottle, something to drink really quick. All right. Anyways, so when oh god, that part when the guy downstairs that works with the security cameras dies, that was gruesome. I will say some of the good parts about this film was the kills. They had some pretty cool kills where it was just like, ouch, or like, ugh. But anyways, Andy talks to detective and then as like, hey, are you guys gonna have dinner? And then the detective invites him in, whatever. They're eating dinner. They're having a wonderful conversation, and that's when Chucky's like back to life, and he sees through the security cameras that Chucky's now hanging out with other people, having new friends, and you feel sorry for Chucky. Um, Later on, the mom steps out of the kitchen, and then the detective. Well, he goes into the kitchen. I forgot why, but when Andy sees like the head, he knew that was the opportunity to grab it and just get the hell out of there, which he did do. He grabbed the head, ran out of there, and threw it in the trash compactor. And so yeah, but they ended up finding the head. Somebody ended up finding the head, called the police, and since the detective saw that that was the same the head was inside the gift wrapped, that's when the detective started suspecting, like, oh my god, Andy killed his own stepdad because he knew that the stepdad was being rude to Andy and some other stuff. So it was all. This one also has fingers pointing to Andy, where they starting to think that Andy's going crazy. But Mark Hamill, positive thing, terrific actor, terrific voice actor. I think he did a good job doing the voice for this new Chucky doll. Um, but the ending, it leaves me questioning. You know how Chucky was bringing all the other dolls to life? I've always wondered, did Andy kill the Chucky doll that he got, or did Andy kill another Chucky Buddy doll instead? Was it a substitute? Was it not the original Chucky? Because you see in one of the boxes, the Chucky doll, his eyes glow red. So I was like, interesting. Unless, I don't know, these other Chucky dolls are bad because when Chucky was using his Wi-Fi shit to bring the other dolls to life, did he corrupt that one too? Or was it the same Chucky doll? It leaves me. It leaves you. It makes you think about that. Oh, hold on. Is that part?
Because if I can't be your best buddy, then nobody can.
Because if I can't be your best buddy, then nobody can.
What did you say?
I mean, look, the cover, they made Chucky look good here. But then when you see the movie, it's like, no, I didn't like the way they made him look. But as the movie went along and the story was interesting, I thought, all right, I'm into this. I forget about how he was. Oh damn! Is there a part two in the works? I don't know. I don't know. Uh, there's no word about it yet, but it kind of feels like the ending makes it has like an opening where if someone wishes to make a second part, they could, because why not? I mean, it's Child's Play. It is a cult film, very popular movie, and Chucky is a very popular serial killer. However, after watching the movie, I did research to see like, will they be making a Chucky Part 8, continuing on from the original Chucky? Brad Dourif, I think that's his name. I wanted to see, are they going to continue? Because for those of you who watched Cult of Chucky, the ending, I thought, let's talk about that now. I thought the Chucky movies that were going straight to Blu-ray or DVD, Curse of Chucky, then Cult of Chucky, I thought those were pretty good. I thought they were like, hey, they're making him creepy again, and the story was very good for me. I liked the stories from those, especially Cult of Chucky. I really enjoyed Cult of Chucky, um, especially the ending. The ending left me like, oh my god, it makes me want more. I want to see what happens next, and I really hope they continue because I googled it and it said they started working on, because they're not gonna make a movie. It's not gonna be a series, so it's not gonna be part eight. Part eight is not gonna be a series. It's gonna be a show now, so we're gonna get episodes, which I thought, okay, that's pretty good. I just hope they'll bring back, and I hope they continue where they left off in the seventh film, because I want to know what happens. Chucky finally transferred his soul into a body, but a female body, and Tiffany was still alive. They drive off together, and that's pretty much it. Andy gets locked up in the asylum. He got tricked by Chucky, and it's like, how is he gonna get out of there? And then in the one of the secret scenes, one of the end credits, you see that Andy's stepsister or stepsister-in-law or something that came out in Child's Play 2, she comes back. So it's like, okay, cool. I want to see what's gonna happen now. So I really do hope they continue with that, and I look forward to it because I think they were doing a pretty good job. They should continue with it, in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see. They said they started working on it supposedly this past February, and it will premiere next year, 2020, which I hope. So far, there hasn't been any word about it, no updates, no news about it. So we'll just have to wait and see, guys, to see if they will do the next season. Let's see. That sounds interesting. Oh, like the next Chucky movie, or like the series. So yeah, I did like the remake. It was okay, but I prefer the original story because I think it was more effective. I think it was more horror. It had that more of a horror feel to me. Although this doll was creepy at some parts, they did a good job in that, but I just think he could have looked better. Maybe they could have done a little CGI, but I think maybe that would have been a bad idea too. There were some CGI moments where his facial expressions did look better, but I don't know. I think they need to work on the model. They need to make a better model of the doll in the next film if they do make a sequel after this remake, this series. Well, love, I'm gonna go to sleep. It was, yeah. I'm already done, by the way. I'm done. This is my conclusion for the review for Child's Play, the remake and the original. And thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you jumping in. I'm glad I got some people watching. Thank you so much, Nikki, Spirit Lily, and uh, Jolly Wiggles. Thank you for jumping into and sharing your thoughts as well of what you thought about the remake and the original. What would you guys prefer? I know, Spirit Lily, you preferred the remake than the original. Uh, Jolly Wiggles, you preferred the original. What were your thoughts about the model of the Chucky doll? Did you agree with it? Did it bother you as much as it did with me, or did it not bother you that much at all? Um, do you prefer Mark Hamill's voice as Chucky or the original voice actor as Chucky? I like them both equally. They both did good actually. But yeah, this is my conclusion, guys. Share your thoughts, and my next video review will be about either the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, the Netflix series, and what else? The Dark Phoenix. We need to talk about the Dark Phoenix, guys. There's so much to talk about the Dark Phoenix, comparing it to The Last Stand. So yeah, something to look forward to next time. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much. That's enough talk. This video has gone far too long. And love you all. Take care of yourselves. Have a good week. And have a good day and night. Bye bye, guys.